Diamond Matter channel, welcome. Right, today is the first in what's likely to be a long succession of videos about setting. I've got some proper setting equipment at last because I'm going to learn to set. Over 2 decades being a professional jeweller, I never learned setting because I always shared workshops with people who specialised in setting. I specialised in making the mounts, that's why I'm Diamond Mounter. That's what I can do. So setting, I always just passed it to the person next to me or someone else and they did all the setting. So I never learned it, but I would like to learn now. I'm quite excited to get into it. So I'm collecting the correct tools, I'm studying and buying books and stuff and finding videos on like the actual techniques and yeah, looking forward to get into it. And I'm going to make a whole series of videos, hopefully ending up with a collection of me going from beginner to quite advanced. I don't know, just see how far it goes. We'll get into it when I said thank you to a new patron. We got Randall. Randall is a former US Navy SEAL, no less. He's a good example of the high caliber people that are attracted to the Diamond Matter channel. So if you consider yourself one of society's top tier people, you too can become a patron. Links in the description. If you don't want to become a patron, catch me outside. How about that? Right, I made this ring. I did do a video making a ring like this. The one in the video, how to make a full eternity ring, it's the same as this basically, but the stones were a bit smaller in that one. This one was for an order I had to make one in platinum. So I did that, and then afterwards I got the ring cast, so just so I can practice setting, because the other one I had to get set for me. So I thought, this is stupid, I should be able to do this kind of setting. It's relatively basic and simple. So I got some cast, and yeah, I'll show you one that I've done, the progress. Basically, look, I mean, look at the state of this, it's out of shape and it's just a right mess. But I happily let that happen because I wanted to experiment. I was experimenting with different like burrs and different tools to push down the claws and split them and stuff. So I'll just show you up close exactly what I did because it's sort of a different story as I go around the ring. Right, after these two, this little section here, I think these were the first ones I set and they're all a bit wonky. The claws are a bit thin one side compared to the other. I experimented with a cup burr, just burring over the top, see if I could round them off that way. Yeah, very messy. And then I think I broke a stone and I broke a claw. Yeah, very, very messy. Right, that was a bit I just showed you there. From here, just chewing it up. I don't know what's going on there. Trying to split it nicely down the middle. Wasn't quite getting in the middle, not pushing it enough. Here, I started trying to change the angle. I was pushing it in. I changed the, where's my tool I was using? I mean, total bodge. This is just an Allen key I ground down, and it's massive compared to what setters normally use. I've since learned. So yeah, I was just pushing it down that way, straight down, and then around here I was just coming out to the angle, coming out at an angle from the outside and pushing it that way, and I was starting to bend all the claws around. So making mistakes, but that's where all the learning is. I was learning what not to do. It's just as good as learning what to do sometimes. So yeah, so learning a lot as I was coming around. Okay, so there's no stones there. That's me experimenting with a bigger ball burr, going slightly bigger and going slightly deeper. Didn't work, ruined the setting in that section. So I moved on, went back to the diamond burr there, I think, and just, yeah, I still went deeper, but with the diamond burr. And then really pushing hard, seeing what I can get away with on the sides and getting a bit more accurate by going down the middle of them as well. It's really important to get right in the middle, otherwise it just looks wrong immediately. So improving, although I did break a stone there, look, and I think some were still going a bit tilted, a bit rocky and wonky. So after the broken stone, this little row here, a massive improvement, because now Sam, the Japanese lady who did the setting for me in a video ages ago, she come to collect my master I made, she set the stones for me. I asked her about how to do it, and yeah, just a few little tips and I massively improved it. So I adapted this, even though this is still this is still completely the wrong tool to use, but I adjusted it to do a better job, actually splitting the claws open, and you can see how much better they look on the side. So much better. They went in a bit more even as well, and the claws on top look better. The secret was I just hadn't opened it up enough down the center. I used a really narrow like cylinder phrase. Just went a bigger size. So actually there was a fault with my master I was actually setting into, not just the tools and technique. All right, so I've drawn these. That's looking down on my ring that way. So these are the holes I drilled, and then the bigger circle is like the diamond burr that I put into it. So what I've done before, this is, I'll just draw the actual ring. What I've done is like groove with a narrow cylinder phrase. This is the hole, yeah, so I scoop down. This is the metal left remaining. Got these shapes. And the tool I was putting down the middle was too narrow. Little cylinder phrase laying it across that way. It's too narrow, and then on the sides of the stones, again, too narrow. So the metalwork left behind is like this shape, with weird sort of triangles. This is what Now Sound, the setter, told me was wrong. Yeah, getting that? So that's not good for setting. So I was literally trying to split that. So I've got this wider section there. I was trying to split that and make it look like a nice claw, but I'm just putting big flat triangles over the stones. What Now Sound taught me, which really transformed it, is put a wider tool down the middle, much wider. So I've grooved out all this, and then also widen it on the sides. So I'm ending up with just these sort of little blocks on the side. So I've got that instead now. So when I split that, I ended up with like proper little square chunks. So it must be like that. So proper little square chunks getting pushed over the stone. So it ended up with something looking a bit more like that. So that helped me out a lot. So understanding you need a much wider tool than I thought there and there.
Catch me outside, how about that?